Hi everyone, welcome to CAOC's Conversation Series. This is where we have the opportunity to explain the ideas, the goals, and the motivations that are really driving and active in our trial lawyer community. Today, we're going to talk about the outgoing president's experience and advice, as well as some goals that I have as the incoming president. So I want to start by asking you, Geoff, what are the accomplishments you're most proud of achieving this past year?
Yeah, that's a great question, Doug. And, really, as you and I both know, about 5 weeks ago, we got dropped with another initiative from the Uber people. But before that, I look back on we wanted to do some reform on advertising. And that was Senate Bill 37, I believe it was. And I'm really proud of that. I worked on that with Casey Johnson and Senator Umberg and Assembly Member Kalra. And we needed to take some steps to try and return our profession back to the honor, integrity, decency, and civility that I feel like we had lost in the last couple of years as a result of some bad actors that were disbarred. And so we had to do that, and we had to take steps to move that back to where we want to be, showing that we are people of integrity and we want to practice with honor. So those are the things that I think I'm most proud of, is that we've taken steps back to do that. And then, of course, the relationship that I've had with you and getting a chance to meet your wife, Chris, and I feel like we're now connected for life. That bond between the two of us is something that I really feel proud about.
Wow. Yeah, he's a natural, isn't he? Geoff, every leader faces unexpected challenges. What, looking back over this past year, would you say was a challenge that you didn't expect, and how did it test you?
Yeah. Well, the biggest challenge, of course, was this fee initiative that was dropped on us. And we got the information that says, wow, you need to raise a ton of money and you don't have a lot of time to do it. You've got to assemble a whole team. And thank God we were able to do that. But that was unexpected. We had to assemble a work council, as you know, in 2 days over the weekend, calling you during your brother's wedding, at breaks during the wedding reception. I mean, that was a totally unexpected thing, for sure. We anticipated something might happen, but honestly, after the legislature finished September 12th, I think it was, I felt like, okay, we made it through. There wasn't any legislation. I thought we were maybe home free, honestly, and then bang. But we knew, as you and I both know, we knew that it was out there and it was a possibility. But it did surprise me, of course, that we got it at that late date. But I think we're up for the task. And you and I both know we are up to the task, so.
Absolutely. Yeah, caught me off guard too, but we're ready.
Right.
We're ready. Geoff, as you're about to hand over the gavel to me tomorrow, what advice would you have for the incoming president and our leadership moving forward?
Right. That's a great question too. I mean, the advice that I have, of course, is that we have a staff of professionals that are experienced, that are knowledgeable, that are smart, that have good judgment, and to be able to listen to them. You don't have to agree with them on every issue, but to listen to them, and their experience probably can help guide you the best way forward. That's one. Two, don't make a rush decision on something right away. Let it kind of matriculate for a couple of days before if you have to make a judgment call. Kind of hear out all the positions first, then make your call. Don't rush to a judgment. That's one thing I think I learned to do this year, because the right path forward will kind of reveal itself when you get a chance to hear all the different voices. And those voices obviously are Nancy Drabble and Nancy Peverini and Leanne Tratton, but also Savina and Jackie as well. And they have come up with a lot of great ideas. And so I would listen to all those voices.
Thanks. Good advice.
So Doug, one of the interesting things I learned about you is that you rose to the rank ranks as an attorney, as a member of the 82nd Airborne, as a JAG officer. And I wondered if that experience helped play a role or helps play a role in how you practice law today.
Well, I would say it definitely helps in the role I'm about to assume at CAOC, because if there was one thing I learned from the 82nd Airborne Division, it was how to be a leader. That's what the Army focuses on, is training young officers how to lead.
Right.
And I remember we were deploying at 3 in the morning, getting on a plane and flying over to the Middle East. And it was pretty ordinary. You just had to get there and deploy. And it was just a small unit. And our commander, David Betrayus, he was there, 3 in the morning. Didn't need to be there, but he showed up. And that taught me a lot about leadership. You need to know what's being asked of the people in the organization. You need to know what they're doing for the organization. And you need to lead them by showing up and supporting them however you can. And I think from my background, it was very important for me to learn that leaders aren't the center of the universe. They're there to support the organization and the team that they're leading. You lead by example. You lead by showing up at the difficult task. And I've carried that forward. You know, I learned from the best. I learned from men that I admire, amazing leaders. And I hope I could be half as good as them. But that's the lessons I would say were most impactful to me from my experience at the 82nd Airborne Division that I try to use every day.
That's a really good answer. And, you know, just to add on to what I said about what advice I give you is also showing up. And you and I have already been doing that, you know, showing up for town halls, showing up. It's a big state with a lot of people. And you need to show up, Central Valley, San Diego, wherever it is, you show up. It means a lot to the members that you do that. As you see it now, what is your kind of priorities this year as incoming president?
Well, great question. It's been on my mind quite a bit.
Yep.
As you know, with the responsibility coming into the position, you want to have clear goals and important goals. And I would say the goal that we have and that I have to lead the organization is to protect victims. Yeah. That with what's happening right now, we're caught in the middle.
Yeah.
They're coming after us to get to our clients and the victims of wrongs. And I think it's important for us to recognize that this is bigger than us. That right now in our country, the people that don't have a voice are becoming more exploited. They're having less rights, and there's not much protections they have anymore. We're one of the few left. So you and I know we have quite a significant amount of issues coming at us. And there are direct attacks through us to the victims. So the priority of this organization and the goal I would hope to achieve is to protect those victims.
That's it. That's the North Star. I just couldn't agree with you more. Doug, what personally keeps you inspired to stay in the fight for the consumer attorneys of California and what we represent?
Well, you know better than anybody, there's good days and bad days, and you do need some inspiration. And I find mine from the community itself, the people I'm working with, the CAOC staff, all the members I interact with, their drive, their intelligence, their support, that's really what carries me.
Oh, perfect.
Thank you so much for joining Geoff and I in this conversation, and we look forward to seeing you more and having you involved in our community.
All right, it's a wrap.
All right. Well done, buddy.